Okay, we're set up on the ETM60SP, which this machine is customized for a heavy Z and a light Z extrusion with 2 different radii. And we've also got an automated positioning table. So what we want to first do is just go through the control, show you what the buttons are, the switches do, give you a little bit of information about the software, how to create a program, how to edit a program, where to go in to move the positioner in the positions where you're going to set each position for bending. Go over a little bit about the tooling. So basically the very first thing you do when the operator comes in the morning is you're going to turn the e-stop. You'll see his emergency is set. You turn that on, hit the exit button, and it will bring you to the main screen. So every morning the first thing that the operator is going to do is going to come back, and he wants to set, the software needs to know where the positioner is. So the first thing they're going to do is hit the red back button all the way until where you see return position dash. So now you're basically set up. The software knows exactly where we call it the truck. The truck is to the tangent, and I'll show you where we put that in. Basically you have 152 inches from the tangent all the way to the very back of the truck, and you've got another 4 inches roughly of offset from the beginning where the truck starts to where the end, where it hits that limit switch. Okay, as you go through the buttons here, you have an automated cycle and you have a manual. In manual, this is what you're going to use to control or set the forward pressure of the stroke. So when I'm in manual, that engages the mold piece. That moves the mold vise. And it also moves the follower, or the counter mold. Okay. Now, moving from left to right, you have a spring back, and you have total degrees of the bend. Actually, this is the total. This is the degree of bend, and this is the total length, 152 inches, 152.2 inches. So, on the top here, you have what program you're in, the phase or the step, and you also have the degree of bend. And this will tell you where the next, that 113.45, that's going to tell you where the very first position of where that truck is going to move to. This is where you start, and this is where the very first position is. You've got your manual and your auto. When you're in this screen, you're going to be in, mostly when you're running programs, you're going to be in the automatic mode. When you're in the automatic mode, all of these buttons are canceled out. You're going to be running inside the program itself. Okay. Now, in order to, let's just go in and look at the set button. This is where you get into your programs. You hit the set button. Okay. This is your spring back. Your spring back is going to be a little bit different because when you close this following die here and the counter mold and the following die, it's going to be pressed right up against the extrusion. The spring back, generally in terms of tube or pipe bending, the spring back is the distance between the jaw and the material itself. In this case, you're going to have very little spring back in the sense that these two, following die and the positioner die, is going to be basically pressed up against it. You're not going to see any space. But if you do, if you see a little bit of room, you can set 1 degree or 2 degrees. During the software, during the program itself, it's going to count out the degrees of spring back and then the degree of bend. Okay, so we're in program 1. You've got basically 5 positions. This is your angle or your degree. I've got 93 degrees, and my first position is at 113.45 inches. The second bend is 93, and what that does is that gives you a little bit of over travel, because if you do 90 degrees and it springs back a little bit, you're not quite 90, so you can add up to, if I push that, if I wanted to add 1 more degree, 94. If I want to add, to make that the same, and you can do that for the other programs. For other steps, in the program, as well as the degree of angle. So if you want to change, if you want to add a degree, you have the ability to add up to 1 degree or 2 degrees, and it's very simple to do so. I've got 93 degrees, 113.45 inches here. If I want to change the degree by 1 degree, I'm going to make that even on both sides. And then the same thing with if you wanted to change the distance, 113.45, you've got the same thing. You can change it there. Now, to save this program, you don't have to hit escape. All you simply have to hit is exit. And now you can see I'm in program number 1. This is going to be the first step of the program. I'm going to go to 94 degrees on the bend angle, and my first position is 131.45. So, position, I'm in automatic here. I'm going to move up 131.45. And there is a slowdown feature here as well, where the truck actually slows down just a little bit as it comes into the position. You see it count out the degree. And it also automatically returns it for you and gets ready for the next step, next degree bend. Okay, so now you see it change. I'm in step number 2, 94 degrees, and my next position is 103.45. So I'm going to move the truck by hitting the green forward button. And you'll see it start to slow down. Position OK. Now, very important here, once you're finished with the part itself, you want to move the truck back beyond the initial position. Okay, so now we've moved the truck back roughly 4 inches back behind the initial starting position. So we've got a positive OK. We're going to move up to 131.45. And we can begin the cycle again. We move our piece forward a little bit. We move the truck forward to the second position at 103.45. Okay, now let's move it back again until you see position OK. Okay, so when you're in the automatic mode, you've got the automatic selector, it shows the auto. Basically what it is the machine is in automatic mode. It's for programming and the execution of the bending cycles itself. Let's say you want to get set up on a new part with the different lengths, different degrees, and you want to find out exactly where those positions are. To run the truck back and forth, you're going to hit memory. This is going to take you to what we call the test mode, okay? By clicking the test mode here and highlighting that, you're able to run the truck forward or backward manually. Which this allows you to find the positions on the part and on the table itself, so that you can program, make a program for that particular part. And you can move it anywhere on within 1.2 inches on the table. So to exit, you're just going to uncheck the test mode, hit exit, and you're back in. So remember, return position,